All right, let's bring Aakash into the show now. Aakash, good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. Now, first up, at the beginning of the series, did you really expect it to be so close, 2-2 now after 4 ODIs?
You will always be very wise after the event, but then I did expect New Zealand to put up a fight. But did I expect 2-2 after the first game or the second game? No, I did not. I'll be very honest. But the way this series has panned out, it has left all of us slightly surprised, because it's not that New Zealand has played quality cricket to win those 2 matches. It's just that India have been below par in those 2 games and ended up losing the game in Delhi and the game in Ranchi. So yes, now 2-2 and all to play for in Vizag. But then India, if they play to their potential, they should win.
Right, MS Dhoni in fact admitted after the Ranchi loss the Delhi game was one that the team should have won. Also, Aakash, do you expect any changes in the Indian playing 11? Jasprit Bumrah, of course, if he is fit, you would say that he pretty much walks into the team.
That's the only change that I can envisage, because Jasprit Bumrah, the moment he is fit, he walks back into the side. Dhaval Kulkarni did himself no harm by batting well towards the end, was really expensive at the start, but then pulled things back nicely. But then if Bumrah is available, I think it's a no-brainer. You have to go with Bumrah. I still haven't seen the pitch, so let's see if pitch at Vizag has a few surprises for us. Otherwise, you expect the same kind of lineup playing in the final and the 5th and the final ODI.
Right. Also, do you think India should perhaps tinker with their batting order? Should they change the order of the players up and down?
No, I don't expect, or in fact, I don't even want any changes, because once you've decided that Dhoni is going to be at 4, then 1 loss, 2 losses, maybe a series loss should not change the thought process, because I'm sure due diligence was done before Dhoni walking up at 4 and in fact playing that wonderful knock in the 3rd ODI in Mohali. So just have some patience, and also the message has to be given to Kedar Jadhav, Hardik Pandya and Manish Pandey that go ahead, express yourself, but don't worry too much if you fail and you end up losing the game, and your place is still secure, because number 5, 6, 7, these are tricky positions. If you put youngsters there, you have to give them time. If you just chop and change, remove them after one failure, that will just dent their confidence.
All right, now it's interesting that you bring up Dhoni there, and of course we know that he is batting at number 4 these days. And talking about Dhoni, well, here's someone who's retired from Test cricket. He plays only limited overs matches, and this season in particular is going to be a very long home Test season for India. The team will play limited overs games only sporadically. In that context, Aakash, and with the series now poised at 2-2, how much pressure do you think Dhoni, the captain and the batsman, how much pressure will he be under?
Well, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, whenever he has walked out to play for India, there has been pressure, but pressure has never been more than it is at the moment, because he obviously, like you rightly said, sporadic matches, not continuity. There is no continuity with regards to his appearances for Team India. Next is in January. There is nothing, no limited overs cricket after the final ODI till second half of January. So there is going to be pressure, and also now that he's batting at 4, he's actually voiced it that it is for my good more than the team's good that I must bat at 4 and deliver the goods. So there is going to be pressure, just that he's got a slightly younger, inexperienced lower batting order or lower middle order, and if that is the case, he'll have to shoulder the responsibility a bit more. And also, there aren't too many games leading up to the Champions Trophy, only 3 more after the final one day in Vizag. So whatever he needs to know about this team, this is the time. If it's let go, then there is no looking.
Right, Aakash, what about Virat Kohli? You know, he's the best batsman in the team currently. He's the most reliable and the most consistent. Will Virat feel the pressure of having to deliver in a high-stakes game like this one?
You know, I personally feel that Virat must have gotten used to the idea of being the best batsman in the side. So he's not competing with anybody else. He's in fact raising the bar for himself. Others are just there to chase. So I don't think that he'll be thinking too much or spending a sleepless night thinking about the knockout game and what if I am left to do the job once again. There are other batsmen in the side as well. Yes, he is the backbone of the Indian batting order, but he's not the only bone. We still expect Rohit Sharma to come good. He's been due for runs. Rahane has shown glimpses of form. In fact, a good 50 in the previous game. So you expect him to come good. It's just that the cream of this batting order is at the top. So you got to admit that if India were to win, it is down to the top 4, and if India goes on to lose, then the responsibility also lies with the top 4. Number 5, 6, 7, you've got inexperienced guys, so you can't really be pointing fingers and finding scapegoats there. So this is, I think, written on, the writing is on the wall. The top 4 will have to not just chase the total down, but also have to play a strong role, a huge role, a dominant role while batting first if India were to put a good score.
Right, Aakash, you've of course already indicated that you're going with Team India for this series decider. Now teams 3 and 4 really in the ODI rankings up against each other. Do you think this will also in a way boil down to who holds their nerve better?
Well, you can say that because it's like a final and knockout games are won by teams that play fearlessly, that they express themselves without thinking too much about the result and ultimately commit less mistakes. So yes, it could be that, but then if you just compare the team man to man, Indian team is standing out. You know that this team is better. New Zealand has started well almost every single time, but then lost their way in between. So you would expect India to capitalize on it if it happens again. The moment spinners come, they lose shape and the innings actually peters out to a below par score. And India should chase down a below par score in Vizag. So I'm actually keeping my fingers crossed. I think India should win this one.